I want to respond to yet another comment whose vote is in the balance, and I want to earn yours. So, sir, let me read the letter, most of it, and answer for you and everybody else. Hi, Mark. Nice to see someone who cares about lessening government influence is running for governor of Connecticut. Thank you for noticing. Yes, I'm in your corner. He continues, I'd like to know, as a 25-year-old apprentice who is thinking of leaving the state shortly due to the fact that taxation in the state has made it difficult to create a life here, what would you do for us as a tradesman? What's your education plan? What will you do about lowering taxes? I understand your pillar, but how do you intend on reaching this goal? Thank you for your time. I'm generally interested in giving you my vote. So, I am generally interested in earning your vote. And I do that with 1, candor, and 2, forcefulness like you've never seen. And here's why an independent, if elected, is more forceful than Ned or Bob can ever be. The Democrat, whether it's Ned or any Democrat nominee, they're tied to promises to unions, promises to teachers, promises to urban groups. Republican, not quite as tied, but this Republican is tying himself to donor after donor after donor. An independent, I'm untethered. Remember, I take 0 donations. We've turned them back. So, if the electorate saw fit to put 51% of you in the Mark Stewart category, oh my goodness, we can steamroll the recalcitrant General Assembly members. That's how things can change quickly, because seeing our agenda and then a General Assembly member going against it, bye-bye in 2020. And that's the hope for if I don't get elected, okay? Our next governor is probably going to be Ned. Ned can only do so much damage if there's a good General Assembly around him, and I'm campaigning for that. And I have a party you've probably seen. The Americans for Minimal Government Party means there are state house seats that we will contend for. Who's we? Ordinary citizens. It might be you in 2 years in 2020 wanting to get into the General Assembly. We will support that. Maybe you'll also win a Republican or Democrat Party's nomination. We'll pad that. So, everyone is potentially in play for making a better General Assembly starting at the end of 2020. Now, lowering taxes is not the real battle. Bob thinks it is. The real battle is lowering spending. Then you can afford to lower taxes without foisting it on other generations. That's been the problem for too many Republicans, and unfortunately Trump is in that camp. He has not cut spending, even though he wants to cut taxes. I fear Bob doing the same thing. How do you do it? You dramatically cut taxes and dramatically have the spending done by individuals, not by the state. Ladies and gentlemen, the state never spends as wisely as we individuals and some agencies that we may want to empower are going to do. The government is going to be politically influenced. It can never get things right. You can. And all the nice things, not necessary things, but nice things that the state spends on now, often unwisely, we get to fund wisely. That can bring a $21 billion budget down to under 10. It's doable. We just need a 90-degree turn. It's not new. We did this 90, 100, 110 years ago. Okay, it was a state that was designed to do the necessary stuff, not the nice things. That's the function of government. When other people do the nice things, nobody starves. When somebody's house gets ruined by a tornado, the community comes and brings it together. I would apply that here. You're a tradesman. You might be working next spring on foundations that have been crumbling in eastern Connecticut. I, as governor, want to get rid of some of the regulations that get in the way of contractors doing good work, doing it quickly. You might be running a team or part of a team that rebuilds a whole set of homes in our eastern Connecticut towns. And you do it primarily privately paid. We don't have to rely on the government, and there's not going to be insurance money. Don't expect that to come through. All right, you mentioned about education plan. That's for another video, but you also said, how would you make things better for tradesmen? Well, I'm very pro-labor, and that means there's some aspects of unionism that I don't like. I would like to see unions cut their message down and cut their work to the things that they do very well. Unions protect workers for safety. Unions are good at elevating wages. I ask unions to get out of the rest, okay? Get out of pensions. Young people don't care about pensions anyway, because whatever you negotiate now is probably not going to be good 45 years from now. Young people don't care about health care, or to the extent that they do, they know they're getting ripped off by paying for older people. Let people have more money now, fund their own health care, give themselves choice. Fund their retirements, again, give themselves choice. Pensions are a relic. They were brought up in the 1890s and grew a lot in the 1940s and 50s because people didn't have as many options. People didn't have as much knowledge. People in the 1890s were working 60 hours a week and couldn't pay attention to what a stock could do or what a bond could do for their portfolio. You have oodles of advisors now. You have your own brain, and armed with the internet have good ability to analyze. You can save. You don't have to rely on a conglomerate. The conglomerate is unlikely to get you better returns. It's unlikely to get you out if you suddenly need a chunk of money to put down a mortgage for the first time. Or you have a child, wants to go to a private kindergarten or first grade. You need some extra money. Or a sports program. You get to do that because of your own savings. You're not tethered to a big plan. That's one way I help the workforce. The other way, you and management have a common enemy. It's the senseless regulations. There's some good ones, not many. The ones that impede your doing work quickly are the ones that your management bosses don't want to have either. And unfortunately, they're ones propelled often by liberals in my party. Yes, I'm still a Democrat. I'm an embarrassed one because our leadership takes on leftist positions. Leftist is not the same as progressive. Progressive, I'm okay with. Liberal, I love. Tolerance, free speech. But the left wants to undermine America. Undermining America whenever it can, and when it comes to, oh, save the birds, save the water, then they come up with things that you can't combat, even if they're false. It's hard to combat it in the media, and we who try to say you need good science before you start legislating, we're on the defensive. And that puts your work at a slow, that puts profitability of your company, it diminishes them, it keeps projects from getting done. I'm a candidate for getting things done. It's unfortunate that this year I'm probably not going to get elected. But we've got a party behind us. Ned Lamont might be listening to some things that I've put forward, and maybe I'll be a commissioner of something for the next 4 years to make Connecticut great again. To really make Connecticut the powerhouse that it once was. So I ask you, hang in there for at least 2 years. Let us get a good General Assembly and stay tuned. Thank you for your interest. I am grateful.